Hello, YouTube. It's Daquita Carva. Hello, all. Thank you for tuning in to this video. It's been a while since I made a video. The last video that I made was maybe 3 months ago. So I've been, for those of you who don't know me, if you followed my channel, I'm a targeted individual, which is basically persecution. I have been persecuted severely. It doesn't stop when I stop the videos, by the way. It doesn't stop. It continues to be an ongoing thing in which there is no relief whatsoever. The only relief is writing journals. For those of you who don't know, I don't know if you. This is a disclosure. This is a full disclosure. This is nothing but the truth. I'm going to share some information with you that is going to change. And well, Quita, you say this all the time, but no, this is very different. This is very different information I'm going to send to you. There is a warning for Israel, the true Israelites. There is a warning. There is a warning for the world. Actually, there's a warning for America. America has been sold, okay? America has been sold into slavery. And I'm going to disclose some information to you that's very concerning regarding the gold and silver of this nation that has been sold into the trade market, the stock exchange market. And I'm going to show you how they're doing this through mortgages. I'm going to show you how they're doing this through real estate. We are property. We are property. I'm going to be giving you a lot of information on here. I have to say this. This is a disclaimer. I am the true Daquita Carva. Okay, I am Daquita Carver. Here are my passports. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to share something with you. I had applied for a passport. My passport expired, was it 2018 or 2017? I forgot. But anyway, I went to go get a new passport, right? In order to get a new passport, you have to turn in the old one. So I turned in the old passport, and to my surprise, they sent me the old one back. This is the old one back that has little holes in it. The old one back, and they sent me a new one, a new passport. And for those of you don't know, I had some problems with identity theft. So I'm just doing that disclosure. This is me. It's who you see, what you get from this channel, from those channels that I've done. The last one was done 3 months ago. It is Daquita Carva, the true Daquita Carva. Here I am. This was the old passport. My hair was long and full. This is the one where my hair pulled back. Here's the new one. This is me. I have nothing to hide. I have been exposed to identity theft under this harsh, targeted individual. Let me tell you how this whole thing works. They basically coordinate and strategize an attack against a very powerful vessel. There's a lot of studies being done genetically. Studies have been done genetically to determine who the holy bloodlines are, and through this, they've recognized who the vessels are. The vessels are meaning the gold and silver that carry value, that carry worth, and they did this through studying the studies of blood. Okay, so they already knew who we were, when we were born. They've been studying genetics for a long time, and they realized who we are. And with that, we have been under attack. Some of us are under more aggressive attack, or some of us because we can't be controlled. It is very difficult for us to be controlled. And with that, there are holy grails, or those who are considered to be the holy bloodlines. Judah, you are not one of them, and I'm going to get to that. I'm going to talk about Judah because there's something very wrong with what's happening with the tribes of Israel. But here's the thing. We have been, the black race, I'm going to just speak from the race of color, people of color, have always historically been divided. We have been a divided people amongst each other. And you have to look at, and I always used to say that, I watched Roots for the first time back in 2000, when all of this stuff, before I was really awakened. I was awakened, but I didn't really know what was going on. I knew I was being harassed, but I think it was after my kids were born in 2011. That was the first time I watched Roots because it was very difficult for me to watch that type of hatred. I don't know, it just resonated in my spirit. Something resonated in my spirit, and it was very difficult for me to watch Roots and watch him being beat like that. But for the first time, you say after all this time in my adult age, I was able to sit down and watch Roots. And as I watch Roots and I hear them talking to him, and he's trying to change his name as he's whipping him with the stripes. He's whipping him, and he's trying to change his name. And he kept asking him, "What is your name?" He says, "My name is Kuta." And he's like, Wrong answer. Strike again. Strike on his back again. What is your name? And he's like, no, my name is Kuta. And then like strike again against his back. And he kept striking him and striking him. And he would not stop until he said that his name is Toby. Okay. So here we have a problem with slavery in which they're trying to place us back into slavery. You can see it happening. And you look at the and you look at the Bible. I look at the Bible totally different now. I'm gonna tell you, you have to. And I look at my videos that I made before, and there is now some real understanding that the Bible is a way of life, but it also speaks to slavery and it speaks to master and speaks to we are cattle to be fed on. We are nothing. We are looked upon as cattle. When you look at the Bible, you have to wonder who made the Bible. You have to wonder. We know that we serve a God of this world, and we know that the God of this world only has a short amount of time. The God of this world is known as Satan or Lucifer. And with that being said, it's his Bible. This is his Bible. My understanding is this is his Bible. Okay. We understand that he imitates everything that God does. So this is his Bible. This Bible is a Bible of the world. And if you look at the scripture, and if you have the spirit to understand it, you'll be able to look into the Bible and see. If you look at the many, okay, for example, I'll give you one example. I don't know how your Bible reads, but this is a David Jeremiah Bible, King James Version. But if you look at the day of the Lord, it's like 5 different days of the Lord. They all have a different Lord. That, you know, there's a different saying. They're not consistent. If you read, there's one in, I believe, Thessalonians. There's one in the book of Jonah, I believe. Or let me make sure. There's one of Thessalonians. There's one in. This is the God of the locusts. This is the locust king, the God of the dead. Okay, so let's go to not Jonah. It's not in Jonah. It's not in Jonah. What book is that in? Pardon me. I'm trying to find that. Whereas anyway, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But it's the scripture that basically speaks to they will be able to enter through. They will run through. They will run, and they will. The earth behind them is like a wilderness. It's like a flaming fire. They will run it. They will break into windows like thieves. That's the locust army. And I thought that was like, I was like, yay, we gonna be like this. And then when you look at my old videos, I'm like, yay, this is what we, and I did this on YouTube. But now today I look at that and say, no, that was all wrong. That was all wrong. That's the locust army. That's the locust army. That's the army of the dead. That's Satan's throne. When you look at Isaiah 6, I went over a study with that. Isaiah 6 is the throne of Satan. So what does this all mean, Quita? What are you trying to get at right here? What I'm trying to get at right here is we're being deceived. A lot of the doctrine, some of the doctrine in the Bible is true, but you have to discern. You have been given the gift of discernment to be able to discern what comes from the living and what comes from the dead. And here's the thing. The Illuminati is running this world. They're running this world as dark forces, powers and principalities, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. Hello, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. There's a spiritual war that is in the shadows, that dwells amongst the shadows, that has nothing to do with the flesh and blood. We were put on this earth to rule as man. We were placed on the earth to rule as man. However, there are unseen forces that we're battling right now. If you follow my channel, I spoke about me waking up and not knowing what was happening. I felt like I had some inclination into another realm or another world in which I had no understanding. I was getting attacked. I couldn't understand these attacks. And then I picked up my grandmother told me it was spiritual warfare. I picked up a spiritual warfare book, looked through the book, and it was like exactly what I was experiencing. However, it intensified, and this was a different type of spiritual war that I never experienced before. It was more abrasive. I'm being hit with chemicals, formaldehyde. People are actually, it seems like people are waking up to this because somebody speaking of a smell of formaldehyde on Kelly and I'm about to say Kelly and Regis. The Kelly show that comes on Good Morning in America, something like that. But they spoke of like smelling formaldehyde. So we have the government basically killing us. Okay, they're killing us by spreading these chemicals in the air. All right, spreading these chemicals in the air, formaldehyde. I know what formaldehyde smells like because I'm a nurse and I went to school and I had to we had to do work with formaldehyde. So I remember that smell is very distinctive. You can't forget that smell. So I have knowledge of what that smell is. So imagine waking up every morning and smelling that in the neighborhood. And I'm very inclined to go to my neighbors and go sign and ask them to sign a petition and take this into court because this is definitely being done with intent and so forth. But I keep a journal here, all my journals, because I feel inclined that I'm revealing a lot of information right now and something is likely to happen to me. And with that being said, I'm not afraid of it. I understand, I understand that these things happen as a result to the truth that is in you. But it comes to the point where you have to accept this by living with this, or you have to speak out about it if you are no longer interested in living in this condition. And I have come to the consensus that I am in a place where I can no longer accept these living conditions. I basically was denied life insurance. Okay. So it's as if they killed me, technically. It's as if I'm living in a duality world in which I died. They say I died, but I'm still alive. Okay. It's as if they say that I died, but I'm still alive. But to show you my passports, they denied me life insurance back in 2012 when I awakened. I don't know why. Okay. There's rumors that I'm sick, and which is a lie. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says there's a scripture in the Bible. I read it somewhere. I can't remember. I should have got all these scriptures for you. But there's something along the phrase that says when they speak of the persecution that the prophet is going to get, that the prophet is going through. It may have been in the book of Jeremiah, but they say that an evil disease clings to him, which is inaccurate. Okay, so I'm not sure why I was denied life insurance. But I was denied, I think it's all ritualistic. And speaking of rituals, we're going to get into that because I want to show you how they're selling women and selling houses and homes as rituals. Okay, this is ritualistic, people. So they're doing rituals through home ownership. So here's how this is working. I found this out on my and I find this out after seeing a lawsuit that my ex-husband filed, in which we had a mortgage together jointly. Come to find out, he was doing some investment frauds, and he was doing some investment frauds, working with investors, and he must have had another loan on the same house that we took out. That we took a loan out for jointly. So there was definitely some fraud going on, and I was able to pull up that lawsuit. I had no idea that this even existed. Had no idea that this lawsuit even existed. So to be able to pull that up, and walk into a civil court in the county that the house was in, and see that my ex-husband went behind my back and had all types of liens on the house. Okay, this is all ritualistic. I'm gonna get into it. In which he basically concealed from me. I had no knowledge of it. I had no knowledge, and this is why I'm going through the warfare I'm going through. This is all ritualistic, people. This is why this explains everything that has happened to me. This explains the whole bizarre phenomenon that has happened to me. It all happened around 2011, at the same time where the house crisis, when my house was considered underwater. Okay, you see all of the floodings going around in 2011 and all that time in different states. Houses were underwater, literally underwater. The floods. Okay, so this is all ritualistic. Unbeknownst to me, I'm the last one to find out. It seems like some of you probably already have knowledge of this, but it appears to be that our real enemy. I doubt. I may be a little premature in saying this. I may be a little premature, and I'm not sure if I'm fully accurate in saying this. But I'm not really sure. I think that it looks like a race war is trying to start. in which whites and blacks are preparing for some sort of race war. When I believe, if you ask me, I believe there's a different race involved. Um, I believe that this really isn't white black; it's more gray. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm really pushing the envelope. I'm really pushing the envelope, and this is why I'm showing you who I am. I'm laying it on the table. I have nothing to hide. All right. I believe this is a planetary war. This is something when you hear Donald Trump speaking about the crisis at the border pertaining to Mexico, he's talking about something else. He's talking about war with another planet, Mexico being Mars. I believe that there are extraterrestrials. I believe that they're preparing for alien invasion. I think this is all coded language. He speaks about how if you listen to him speak, and let the spirit of truth minister to you as to what Donald Trump is speaking. He's speaking in code because he ain't gonna tell you. Look, we got aliens coming in, and they're breeding with our women. They're defiling the country. They're stealing, and they're doing all of this through technology. He's not gonna tell you that, okay? He's not going to tell you that America is under attack by aliens. You know, you look at our military system, they've basically sold us out, okay, for dark technology. There appears to be a war with these different types of beings and these different types of forces, Vrils and the Vril society and the reptilians and so forth. And we're in the middle of this atrocious war. And I'm going to tell you something. I feel like I'm a medium in terms of it. I feel like I'm a very powerful vessel, in which explains the level of attack that I'm experiencing, in which they traffic. There's some sort of traffic that's occurring through me. I'm not sure if I'm a breeder or not. I believe that they're breeding through me. I have knowledge of this, and right now I don't really care what happens. I don't care what happens. I don't care what they do to me, because it comes to the point right now, and I'm saying a lot right now, but I don't even care. But it comes to the point where I can prove this in a court of law. I have enough evidence. I have enough documentation, and where I can prove this in a court of law. If it ever comes to a point where I have to question my sanity, I showed you some scriptures in the Bible that shows you Isaiah chapter 6 is the devil's throne. I showed you how they speak of the Lord coming at them like a bull in Lamentations. When you read Lamentations, you came at me like an enemy. I have a scripture in here that speaks to there's a scripture in the book of Psalm, I believe, that where how and I wish I would have got all of these scriptures prepared for you, but where the book of Psalm says how she trusted in the man who laid in her bosom. Her and he, we took counsel together. We walked to the synagogue of God together, and he betrayed her. And this seems like my ex-husband. So it seems like I'm involved in these sort of rituals. There's some rituals that are happening in which I am a participant in unconsciously, in which some of you are participants are in, because you're the golden vessels. You are the holy priest, in which we are being used by the synagogue of Satan. The synagogue of Satan, you can look at in Revelations, the book of Revelations. I had that up. They call themselves the Jews. Okay, so here we go. The Revelation, book of Revelations, chapter 2. We'll start at verse 8. And to the angel of the church of Smyrna write, these things I say, says the first and the last, who was dead and came to life. I know your works, tribulation, and poverty, but you are rich. And I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. So there's an enemy right now that's taking your identity. I showed you my identity. I validated myself. I'm vindicated. I validated myself as to who I am. There's other forces that are calling me different names. They want to call me a different name like they did like they did to Kunta. They calling him a different name. Excuse me for a minute. My computer went out. So they're calling him by a different name. There's people that are trying to call you by a different name in these last days. Okay, these people are they sold their souls. Okay, the synagogue of Satan, those who Satan has recruited into his 144,000 army. Understand this. There's an army. Okay, there's an army, and please disregard anything I taught you prior to the 144,000. I believe there is a holy 144,000 that is totally separate from the synagogue of Satan. I believe there is a holy remnant. I do believe that. However, there is a copy of the true. There is a copy of the true, and that is the synagogue of Satan. The synagogue of Satan is run by witches. Okay? This synagogue of Satan has stolen the identities of other females, of other women, of other men and women, and they have defiled the true. They have defiled the true, leaving their filthiness on what is true, and taking out all of their goodness, taking out all their essence by, I hear Holy T, and she changed her name a few times on here, who used to speak about being raped in the spirit. She can feel herself being raped and feeling like she's being molested, and other women, not just Holy T. It's a whole bunch of women that are speaking about this right now, that are feeling an intrusion on their body as if they're being raped in the spirit. And with that, they're taking away your essence and they're leaving their filth on you. These are coming in through portals. They're coming in through us. They're coming in through our bodies. Women have a vagina, in which is a portal, opening, and they're coming in through these. They're coming in through these places. How are they coming in, Quita? Through the video games, through the HoloLens. The HoloLens. The world is a hologram. Is a hologram. They're coming in through those lenses that they wear on their eye. They're coming in. Those are $3,000 lenses. They're expensive. It's expensive to play these games. If you really want to understand these games, it's very expensive, and you have to have very big money and powerful understanding, some level of knowledge. But they're wearing these games as if they're in a video game, and they can bring up a body. They can do voodoo and all this witchcraft to simulate you to this reality or whoever they built you as, and come in as your body. They use FaceTime. They're using FaceTime to steal your face, to steal your, and all this stuff that I'm doing right there, to steal your identity. They use social media sites. Facebook. I can't get into Facebook, my account, to save my life. I can't get in. All my pictures are there. I can't get access to my pictures, access to my life. I can't get access to anything. So it's a good thing that I still have a photo book of what I am, who I am, and my identity, because people want to change who I am. So I still have a camera. Do you know I have a camera in this house, and it all of a sudden showed up broken? I had a digital camera that's broken. And, I have to tell you, we're dealing with familiar spirits. The people in your house, if you still are in your own body, the people in this house are not your friends. The people in your house, they are not your friends. The house is divided. So let's move into that. How are they doing this through mortgages? Okay, I'm going to tell you how. I'm just going to read you something. Let's say, okay, so you purchase a house, right? Let's say you're in a family. This is a breakdown of the black family. You know that I would say, they all say strength is in the house. You have to build up your house in order to make it stand. Well, this is how they can divide the house. This is how they divide the house. Through rituals and through financial hardships, creating liens on the house, causing the house to lean, messing up the foundation of the house, by adding covenants, going into these planned unit developments with riders, creating appurtenances, attachments, soul ties, attachments onto the property. The property is you. You are looked at as a land. When the Lord says, when it says, be watchful, the devil will roam around like a roaring lion. Judah is evil. Judah is evil. Judah is evil. Judas betrayed Jesus. Judah means praise. Judah betrayed Jesus. Okay. Judah he sold his soul for riches. He sold his soul for 30 pieces of silver. And with that, he became in a different, he went into a different dimension. He became a different creation, sort of, so to speak. He went into a different realm, okay, that was totally separate from the direction of Jesus. Judah was praised, and he tried to change his name to Jesus. He tried to emulate Jesus in another realm, okay? He tried to wear Jesus' identity in another realm, okay? He betrayed Jesus. He wanted to become Jesus. He wanted to get Jesus' praise. Judah. Okay? Judah, the roaring lion. The roaring lion. Okay? They're roaring lions. They've been trained to be lions. They're the synagogue of Satan. They're owned by Lucifer. Okay? They're following Lucifer right now. They've been trained to be animalistic. You think all of this stuff is cute. I'm going to tell you. You're wearing savage on your shirt. You're wearing beast on your shirt. And you have no idea what you're unlocking. You have no idea what you're labeling yourself as. You're changing your name. You're changing your identity. You're wearing your brand. When you wear a shirt, whenever you wear a shirt, you're saying what you are. You're saying what I am. You're saying what I represent. This is me. When you wear savage on your shirt in the front and where everybody can see, and that, and you think it's cute, it's disgusting. It actually is disgusting. When you think of yourself as a roaring lion, as a hunter and a killer and a destroyer and an eater of flesh, you're sending out a message: stay away from me, I will kill you. I mean, I'm just saying, when I see savage on your shirt, when I come across you and I see savage and I see beast on your shirt, I may listen to your music and I may hear your songs and say, oh, this is a nice beat and everything. But when I see it, I'm turned off. Will I date you? No, absolutely not. Because you already gave me what you are. You already showed me. I don't need to ask you anything. I don't need to know what your name is. I don't need to know who you are. I don't need to know anything because you showed me who you are. You wearing your brand on your shirt. You wearing what you represent on your shirt. And you've been taught that through slavery. You've been taught to be an animal. You've been taught to be a beast. You've been taught to behave like this. So everything that you do is beast-like because you learned it from your master. It's like a circus master. It's like you become a show for the master. You become a show and you get broken down and you wear that shirt. And you do that and you wear that shirt and then you wonder why people may treat you differently or treat you and don't take you seriously. It's because of what you're doing to yourself. Hey, you did it. You wearing what you are to me. So when I see savage, I'm gonna take you at face value. You a savage. I'm gonna take you at face savage. When I see all these tattoos all over your face, I'm gonna take you how you appear. I'm gonna take you how you appear. So and so don't expect me to be, oh well, and it's not a matter of, I'm better than you or anything like that. It's just that you have to be mindful of what you're doing to yourself. You have to understand what you're putting on your body. I have tattoos. I'm not saying that having a tattoo is wrong, but where you put the tattoo it creates a different message. So how are they doing this? Through rituals. They're doing this through rituals. You become a property, okay? You become a property. You can read the land description. You can read the land description. I'm going to read you, I'm going to actually read you what a land description is so you can understand what a planned urban development is. So when you and your husband go and buy a house, y'all go buy a house. Y'all buy a house, and usually the bank can see if there is some sort of risk that is in my case, the property that we bought was all fraudulent. The whole thing, the entire thing was a fraudulent purchase. So I'm going to read something to you. This is going to help me explain it a little bit better. So here we go. There's a thing called securitization. Securitization is a process whereby mortgage loans are turned into securities. or bonds and sold to investors by Wall Street and other firms. The purpose is to provide a large supply of money to lenders for originating loans and to provide investments to bondholders, which were expected to be relatively safe. The procedure for selling of the loans was to create a situation whereby certain tax laws, known as Real Estate Mortgage Investment Conduit Act, were observed, and whereby the issuing entities and the lenders would be protected from either entity going into bankruptcy. So here's to summarize this. You have securitization. Is basically the process of providing a security deed that basically shows how the house is to be handled, who owns it, and so forth. You can sell those deeds. You can sell those deeds to investors, so that they can basically free up money for the banks to be able to provide, and for the banks and lenders to be able to give other homeowners loans. But this is the shadow. This is the behind the scenes type of stuff. So this is the stuff that's happening. You purchase this house. You and your husband go in here. You purchase this house. Meanwhile, there's some other side transaction that's happening in which money laundering is taking place, in which wire fraud and money from shadow banks, okay, banks that are non-existent, are receiving money. These lenders and these investors, REMIC, in which they are doing side deals and applying other loan numbers on that same house. Okay, so these are back end deals, okay, that are being done on that house that you and your husband are buying, right? So they understand that this is a fraud. They understand what they're doing. They understand that this is fraud because they understand what they're doing behind the scenes, right? So here's a problem. So let me finish reading. In order to achieve the desired bankruptcy remoteness behind the scenes, numerous true sales of the loans had to occur in which loans were sold and transferred to different parties to the securitization. A true sale of the loan would be a circumstance whereby one party owned the note. A true sale of the loan would be a circumstance whereby one party owned the note and then sold it to another party. An offer would be made, accepted, and compensation given to the seller in turn for the note. The notes would be transferred and the deeds of trust assigned to the buyers of the note, with an agreement or transfer made every step of the way. And furthermore, each note will be endorsed by the next party, previous assignee, or transfer of record. So basically what they're saying, there's some other people buying you. There's some other people purchasing you. You are the property. You are the property. Remember when God said, be watchful because they will break into your house. The thief that breaks into your house. He's not talking about your house. He ain't talking about this house. He's not talking about this house, with the security alarms and everything where you can hear it and He's talking about this house. He's talking about your demonic possession. He's talking about your house, the takeover of your body. Body Snatchers. Remember the movie Body Snatchers? He's talking about breaking into the temple of God. Talking about breaking into this house. So meanwhile, these entities, these shadows, okay, that created a twin for you, by the way. The same Illuminati that created a twin for you, that said you got a twin. You have no twin. This is a shadow. This is the wheat and tear. You are not a twin. Okay, you were wonderfully and perfectly made. And then your enemy came and implanted the idea that you have a twin that you're supposed to get along with, this dark twin. It's just Mars, just showing up on the scene. Okay, so here you have the true sale of the loan. Okay, that has been sold over and over and over and over to investors. Hence, the alleged sexual abuse, the attacks, you become property. You become a private property. They only do this to vessels. They only do this to people they've researched and know, hey, we got something here. We got something here that's making investment behind the scenes, in the shadows. Let's handle this. Let's attack her land. Let's apply all these easements, these appurtenances on her land, you being the land, okay? They did this with the spirit of truth. Why? Because they got the oil, they got the minerals in the land, the dirt and all of the land, and it holds the earth. It holds all of the minerals. It holds all of the oil. It holds, you're rich in resources. You're rich, and they need to be able to come in. Okay, this is why you feel all these sexual attacks, because they're, as they enter the portal, okay, the imagined portal, the illusion of a portal through astral projection. Okay, as they do that, they're looking into your soul. They're looking into what you have. They're looking and scoping out the land. Hence, when Joshua went to the house of Rahab, the house of the harlot, and scoped out the land. He scoped out the land. He scoped out the land. He was a spy who scoped out the land. He entered into Rahab. He entered into Rahab and scoped out her land, and stole and said that this land is filled with diamonds, and she got all types of stuff in there. She's rich, and this is how we coming in. So let me just read you the what the PUD looks like, what all of this language looks like, so you can so you know and understand how you're being sold. You're being sold, yes. So as I was saying, that background deal, so that means somebody in that your same, so somebody in your same subdivision. Say you live in a subdivided community. You live in a subdivision, right? So that means that the neighbor next to you, all right, and this is all ritualistic. The neighbor next to you, not to mention any of you who own loans. Look at your beneficiary. The beneficiary is termed MERS, MERS, MERS. Research MERS. MERS, is it MERS or Mars? 144,000. 144,000. Is it a prison? One is a prison and one is freedom. Look who sold you. Look and see who sold you. Okay, so here we go. So when you look at that back end, the deals that are taking place on your life, pretty much, they're taking place on your life. They're taking place on your life, and they're creating a hardship on you. They're putting all these appurtenances. Appurtenances are attachments. What do you do when you have a soul tie? These are attachments. But guess how you try to break these attachments through prayer? They're hard to break. Why? Because it's all in the land. And this is what they do. So your neighbor next door to you is in that covenant, that has a covenant. Your subdivision may have a covenant, okay, which is a homeowners association, which is a covenant, all right? And you signed in your closing transactions that it was okay for that you were aware of the plan unit developments with riders, okay? With riders, you were okay with this, and your land is being sold. Your land is being sold to the securitization, to the bankers and the investors. The bankers and investors are getting rich off of you. So when you look at the security deed, it says Bauer. This security instrument, this security weapon, is given to Mortgage Electronic Registration Systems Incorporated, in parentheses Mars, translation, solely as nominee, as if they won something, for lender, and hereinafter defined, and lenders, successors, and assigns. As grantee, okay, so it looks like the house or the grantor is you. Okay, you have granted, all right, the security instrument being the copy of the securitization, MERS or Mars, okay, that has nothing to do. They should have nothing to do with this trend. They should have nothing to do with this. You've given them authority as grantee to have possession of your house in the event you default. MERS is organized and existing under the laws of Delaware, which is a foreign entity. The laws in Delaware are foreign, okay, and has it has this PO box number that does not exist, by the way. That's on the security deed. Look that up. Don't exist. You can go and look at the corporation search in every state and where they exist, and it's actually fraud. They change their names over and over to hide the shadow entity. All right. Borrower owes lender principal sum of, and it goes into. Sorry, my computer will keep going out. I wouldn't be surprised if this video got blocked. But this debt is evidenced by borrower's note dated the same date as the security instrument. All right, so let me just show you what they get into. Here it is. Here is the smoke, bells, and whistles. This video will get posted in the name of the truth. It will be posted. So it lists my property. It's a parcel number with the parcel number, the address, and everything. My property to have and to hold. This property unto MERS solely as nominee for lender and lender's successors and assigns, and to the successors and assigns of MERS forever, together with all the improvements now or hereafter erected on the property, and all easements, appurtenance, and fixtures now or hereafter as part of the property. I'm not going to go into all of the reading. It says, borrower covenants that borrower is lawfully seized of the estate hereby conveyed and has a right to grant and convey the property, and that the property is unencumbered except for encumbrances of record. This security instrument combines uniform covenants for national use and non-uniform covenants with limited variations of jurisdiction to constitute a uniform security instrument covering real property. So you say, Quita, pay the mortgage. Don't let them benefit from the land. I like that response. I like that answer, but I have an answer to that. How? You have a stable job. They looked at you. You're a registered nurse. You can afford the mortgage. You got the mortgage. You got the pre-approval. Why can't you afford the mortgage? Don't let it go into foreclosure. Don't let them become the beneficiary of the property. I like the way you think. I like the fact that you thought that. Here's where it gets interesting. Here's where it becomes interesting. The whole transaction is a fraudulent transaction. It's happening in the shadows. They use money that didn't exist from banks. They reused you as the bank. Okay, they sold and traded you on the black market. Okay, they used you as cattle. Okay, so now we have a crisis with the mortgage crash, the crash of 2008, 2009, that brought the economy down, that placed the houses underwater. Remember all of the floods? Remember homeowners, the Hurricane Katrina, all these people losing their homes? They got possessed. Are they in their bodies? It's coded, people. The floods drove them out of their houses. What they're saying is those people are now being occupied by MERS. And then you say, okay, well, Quita, don't let the house foreclose. But yeah, that's where the hardship comes in. They created a hardship for me. Remember I said I couldn't get a job? Remember I couldn't get a job because they understood that the market was crashing, banks were being investigated, they had to pull out. So how do you pull out? You make somebody, because this girl can afford the house. She can afford the house. But we need to get out of this. We need to pull out of this deal. We need to pull out of this deal. We need to somehow get out of this deal. So now they know that it's fraud. They know that looking at their mortgage, they ain't questioning their mortgage. We need to pull out. How do we make her stop paying mortgage? How do we make her stop? Blacklist me from getting jobs. Get me fired. I'm a registered nurse in a demanding field. I am unemployable in this country. This country has deemed me unemployable. It feels as if I've become MERS to some extent. You know, there's trafficking that is taking place through me, and I'm aware of it. I'm aware that there's trafficking taking place through me. And I am not for this. I didn't ask for this. I don't want no part of this. And this is happening through me. And they've taken everything. They've literally taken everything. So I'm just trying to hold it all in. I'm trying to hold it all together because everything has been taken from me. So you say, oh, Jesus, disclosing everything. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I'm fed up. It's enough for me. I'm up to here. I don't care what they do at this point. I'm totally carefree as to what happens here. But I felt like you should know because this is coded language. There is an alien invasion that's taking place, and they're all in the government. They're all in the government. They are all in the government. The government is dark, is shadowy, as Eric Snowden implied. It is shadowy. And, the truth is, I'm not really sure. I look at the whole thing that's going on, and I'm like, you can see this through television. Hunger Games, Westworld. You can see who runs this America. I'm going to say America. Okay, America will be the first one to drop. America's going to drop. Why? Because it is done. Because of what is being done here. What is being done, the lack of regard, the fact that I got to wake up and smell chemicals, the fact that I got to sit in here with unseen forces in my room, spirits. There are spirits in which in which they create, by the way, they create atmospheric conditions, okay, atmospheric conditions, because they are looking for a one world government. They are looking for that new world order. They are looking to reduce the population to a controllable population, and they have indicated who the people are that are going to create a problem for basically executing that agenda. And I happen to be probably the one on their list. I have been targeted or labeled as a troublemaker or labeled as some sort of terrorist that they created, by the way, in which I don't have a record. I have never done anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to accuse me of something now based on all the disclosures that I'm doing right now. And, there's a paper trail. There's a paper trail. So, you have to be smart in how you approach anything like this that is deemed to be a conspiracy when you can, it's no conspiracy, by the way. It's not a conspiracy at all. This is all backed up. This can be proven. And this is something that they already know. But they won't tell you. They're running the government. They're running the government. So this 144,000, and you have to remember who you're listening to. You have to remember, discern. If they're telling you to kill, if they're telling you to have sex, the kingdom is being ran by incubus and succubus. These are perverted spirits. These are perverted spirits. Look at what R. Kelly is going through. R. Kelly is going through Mars. He's going through Mars. R. Kelly is life is I'm not trying to justify. I don't really know but I understand the behind the scenes, the thing that is happening to him behind the scenes. This is biblical. Okay, when you look at the women in the Bible, when he had two women, one was a maid and one was a wife, they're trying to put you in these roles. Okay, the Illuminati are trying to give you these roles in which we are unconsciously doing rituals. Rachel and Leah, what was her name? Rachel and Leah, what was Rachel's husband name? I don't know if it was Jacob or I can't remember. I don't have it right in front of me. But you know the Bible story where he had two wives because he was in two dualities. One was dead and one was alive. Okay, so we understand that this King Solomon and his thousands of wives. One was alive and he had 1,000 of them in another realm where he was able to traffic into those realms and visit with his wives. So we understand what's happening right now. We're being led by incubus and succubus. Okay, Sodom and Gomorrah. Here we go again. Sodom and Gomorrah. We're being led by incubus and succubus spirits. Church of Philadelphia, Brotherly Love, is the love for Mars. Read the Church of Philadelphia again. Well, read the Church of Philadelphia again. Listen. Spirit of truth. Who's the king of this world? Who's the king of this world? It's like they put you in these rituals. And for me, example, like I'm in this ritual. I understand that I'm in a ritual. I understand exactly what they've done. They've made me play a game that I don't want to play. They made me play a game that I don't want to play, where I have to play both wives. I have to play the good and the ugly. And then they say, "Oh, Quita, you crazy." No. This isn't the Bible, sweetheart. This is proven. There's a lot of people in mental health facilities right now at this very day because they are in rituals in which, and they know what's going on. And what do they try to do? They try to get you a little closer. The Illuminati come in. We want to bring you on to come do and work with us, and just so they can get you controlled. You go there for a minute. Look at what happened to. I can look at some celebrities, for example, and tell you exactly they going through what she went through, what I went through. Tony, when you read this Unsung show with Toni Braxton, same thing I went through, same thing I'm going through. She's gone through. When you look at the Supremes, what was it, Florence? Same thing. Those were alien attacks. She was getting possessed and breeded with some unknown things that traffic through her body. Florence. You look at Florence. You look at Toni Braxton. You look at all these women, these credible, beautiful spirited women. You look at these women and you see the enemy in disguise. And I'm to the point where, you know what? I'm to the point where I look and I say, I can't understand why we have to go through so much. Why do we have to go through so much? Why? Because they broke the house down. I just gave you an example of how they do it. They broke my house down. My house fell down. You know, my house had liens on it. It had all of these things on my back. The government will be on his shoulders. The government will be on his shoulders. Literally, that's how I felt. The government is on my shoulders. Seriously. And then somebody wants to take your fame. They want to take your identity. And I look at these celebrities that sold their souls and I say to myself, hey, I wonder if they're still in there. I wonder if they're still in their bodies, or if they're in another dimension, or if they've been blasted somewhere else. When you sign your soul over to the devil, these sick and perverted spirits that are ran by incubus and succubus, when you sign your soul over to the devil, are you still in there, or do they take over? Or do they take over? Even right now, I'm under attack. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care anymore. If you can take my life, if you can do this to me, I want the world to know, because I had to look for my answers. But this way, at least it'll be out there for everybody else to say, oh, now I understand. She explained it so well. I get it now. Now I understand. When I see people that die for the truth, and people who died, like these people that the people who found all of these things, these naturopathic doctors that are dying, and found that all of these things that the government were doing to our foods and to all these things, and they blew the whistle and they told, and it's like, you know, then you come to this culture where black people, you see people, you join in the Illuminati, and you see, and it's just like, it's so phony. It's so phony because you sit with these people and you smile and you laugh and you sit at the table, eat dinner with them, wondering if the friend that you sit next to know that you just offered her as a sacrifice. The friend you sitting with know that she about to be killed. Do the friend know? The friend that you sitting with, your best friend who trying to take your identity, does she know? Do you know that your best friend, okay, in her mind, just sold you out to be sold, to die? And you want me to sit at the table, you say, and then the rest of them say, we ain't snitching, we ain't no snitching. So you gonna let the Illuminati kill your people? You letting the Illuminati kill your people? This is the reason why the house is breaking. This is the reason why the black house breaks down. Their house stands. They don't have our problems. They don't have our problems. You look at every black household, every color, every household of color, the house is falling down. I ain't snitching. You are Uncle Tom. You sitting up there at the table, you letting your brothers get killed just to take your plot. You the Judas. You are Judas, whether you know it or whether you don't. I'm here to tell you, you're Judas. The sellout mothers in the house that's selling out your daughters. You're Judas. You don't deserve praise. You don't get praise for that. There's nothing commendable about selling out your children. There's nothing commendable about seeing your sister being raped and killed and I ain't snitching. There's nothing commendable about that. Tell me, I want to hear the opinions of women right now. I want to hear the opinions of, there's nothing commendable about seeing your sister being raped and sold over and over and you're behind it. There's nothing commendable about that. I don't care how you try to justify it. There's nothing commendable about that. You deserve no praise. You deserve no praise. Let me tell you. You deserve every bit of backlash. You deserve every bit of judgment that there is. For you to unconsciously allow your sister to be drugged up when you behind and you have knowledge of this, just so you can take your sister's spot. This is, and everybody, we can't snitch. We're going. The house gonna continue to fall. We're going into a new generation. We're going into another generation. Same cycle. Same cycle. Blacks divided. The same cycle. And who you gonna let another planet? First it was a white man. And now it becomes Mars. Now you got a whole another planet. When Mars was with the white man. Let me just say this. Let me just say who probably is the real enemy here. Let me say who probably is a real enemy. Because in my understanding, as I research and as I look at my life in general, I used to say, and give people the benefit of the doubt. I gave people the benefit of the doubt. And I say, I said that, white people, I said, I got some nice white friends. I do. I have nice white friends. I met some nice white people. And not all of them are bad. It's like not all black people are bad. And it's like I know there are black people that I would not sit at the table with. And I'm black. I'm not sitting at the table with you. And it has nothing to do with me hating on my people. You're not a character that I care to associate with. And that goes for black and white. It don't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. But here's my thing. When you come to the point where you have identified yourself as somebody who is who will get to the top any type of way, where you will walk over your sister, you will walk over your brother, you will sell your brother out. We see this happening all the time throughout history, and even back from the 60s and 70s, where groups were falling apart and breaking up. Temptations, the Supremes, all of them, the groups. Because why? Because the organization or the leadership that worked with them created the divide and conquer. The divide and conquer. Split them up. They get too powerful. Split them up. The house too strong. Divide the house. Put the husband in jail. Set him up. Get him into all this prostitution. Set him up. Lock him up. Get him into another baby mama situation. Make the wife divorce him. And break the house down. You get too powerful. Break the house down. Thanks to my brothers and sisters who say they ain't snitching, but would rather see the house fall apart because they don't have the vision. This is your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. You took counsel from a leader who is not in a leadership position. You took counsel from a liar. You took counsel from a thief who came in and has no idea what they're doing. All they know is they wanted Quita's spot. All they know is that we want Quita's spot. We don't know how we don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I just want the spot. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But if I gotta break her down and do it, and y'all don't tell her I'm doing it, because I'm gonna hook y'all up. Y'all don't tell her I'm doing it. You killed generations. You now killing generations. You killing generations. And I don't know if you had the vision, because you don't have the vision to see it, because all you see is what you can gain. All you see is the gaining part. You don't see the loss. You don't see how this is gonna impact your children. You don't care about that. You ain't get that far. You don't get that far. You're one track minded. You know, it says that archons, they don't know how to create. They don't know how to do anything. They need innovators to be able to help them. And this is where they take them into slavery. They take their minds into slavery. They take their souls into slavery. The 144,000, they take their minds into slavery to what? To build up their stuff. The 144 are gods. They're gods. I believe that they are gods. I believe that they're gods, but they're demons. They're demonic spirits. They're gods of Satan. I believe that they have a different, God says, true, they wear my covering, but they're not of my spirit. So just because, and we're into all this false love, Church of Philadelphia is a prime example. I can look at that and see that's false love. Read it with spiritual eyes. Read it. I used to be so happy to be the Church of Philadelphia. At least where I'm at least where they got me at. Satan copies everything. So, at least I don't know. The one I'm experiencing is false love, is perversion, incubus and succubus. And I prayed and prayed to get out of this matrix or whatever the heck I'm in, wherever house I'm in, because I lost my house. And this is the thief that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But this is you see people wearing garments, and you wonder if they're in there. You look at Hollywood, and I'll be like, wow, I wonder if and I'll say Jay-Z and Beyonce, for example. I like Jay-Z and Beyonce. I like them. I think they're a very powerful couple. I think they can do a lot of good things together. I think they do a lot for the community, and they speak up for black things. But at the same time, I can't help but say this. I'm just going to say it, And sometimes I wonder if they are in there. I wonder if that's really her and if that's really him. I wonder. I wonder these things. I sit here and I wonder, and I'm not saying so, and it's amazing. We're battling this mirror, this image. I don't know if y'all have a problem with the mirror, but I certainly do. This mirror that's telling me to cut my hair. This mirror that's telling me I'm too vain. I'm not vain. I'm not vain at all. The mirror has a problem. The mirror, the image that's looking at me has a problem. And for those of you who know me, y'all see me who follow the channel, when I fasted and I looked just like a zombie. That was demonic. I don't know what that was. Incubus and succubus, jealousy. That was somebody wanting to take my place, wanting to take me out, wanting me to be insecure, wanting me to feel ugly, wanting me to feel pathetic, and wanted me to mutilate myself. They wanted me to mutilate myself, to cut myself, to feel like shit. They wanted me to feel like shit, to make them feel good. They feed off of suffering. They feed off of suffering. You look at what happened at 9/11, the attacks on 9/11. All of that was this demon. That was sacrifice. That was a mass sacrifice. A mass sacrifice with what? The 144,000 as suicide bombers. Wow, thanks to the God of Mars, right? The God of Mars. And I wonder if the real enemy is a white man. Is it the white man or is it Mars? Based on what I said, who really is the enemy? The new race of beings, white, black, or gray? Who is the new race of beings? How do you gain power? Divide and conquer. Cause the whites and blacks to fight. They hate each other. Let them fight. Let them fight. We'll feed off of it. We'll get stronger. We'll get powerful. And boom, we in. We'll wear their garments. We'll take over their stuff. But we really gray. There is no more white, black. It's gray. And you tell me. I mean, I don't know. I want to hear. I'm interested in hearing the comments. I'm interested in hearing the comments because, or and seeing your comments because this is very, very, this is very real. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read something in here. The Bible speaks of aliens. It speaks of aliens. It speaks of extraterrestrials. Your house being filled with. I'm gonna read it right now. I'm gonna read that scripture. This is y'all need to prepare. There is something inside of you. I'm gonna tell you, there's something inside y'all that's dealing with something right now. Y'all don't know what it is. It lives in you. It's alive inside of you. I promise you. I promise that it's alive inside of you. And don't be surprised if they see, if they use us as weapons, satanic armies to fight a war that's already won. A war that's already won. The pyramids against the cross. And I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. The pyramid is evil. I'm gonna say this. The pyramid is evil. I think the pyramid represents technology. It represents the beast system, computers that are programmable. Computers. They have computers as us, like me, being a computer, where they can remote into you through the computer. Give the computer commands, the Apple computer, the Mac computer. They can go into X11. They can go into the Mac computers. They can go into, it operates just like a word. It operates like a word, but it's not real. This is coming through. It's not the real spirit realm. It's a matrix. It's a DOS system, a DOS-based system. And they send a command to the terminal, being you, the terminal, and they send that command, enter that command, and have you perform as a robot, the beast, as a robot. Send a command. Your Department of Defense is doing this. Your militaries are doing this. And they're doing this to what? The true vessels. They're doing this to the holy grails, the gold, the silver, the truth spirit, the spirit that holds the truth, the threat to exposing the shadow government that needs to fall down quickly. But this is here it is. This is so right now y'all listening to a demonic spirit that's gonna cause you to that's gonna cause your demise. Here, the pure of adultery. And I'm gonna say, there's a spirit of wisdom in this Bible. This wisdom is demonic wisdom. This is the goddess of wisdom. This is not, you can read Proverbs and get the tone and get a tone as to what this thing is. She is evil. The spirit, and that is the spirit, this goddess spirit of America. She owns the wealth in America. Listen to this. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Lend your ear to my understanding, that you may preserve discretion, and your lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of an immoral woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but in the end she is bitter as wormwood, because they made her into wormwood. Understand this. They designed this. This is all by design. Okay? Sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lay hold of hell. Lest you ponder her path of life, her ways are unstable. You do not know them. Therefore, hear me now, my children, and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your honors to others and your years to the cruel one. Lest aliens be filled with your wealth and your labors go to the house of a foreigner. Take this literally. This is Proverbs 5, verse 10. Lest aliens be filled with your wealth, and your labors go to the house of a foreigner. Take this literally. This is literally. Okay, there are aliens that are here. I work with them in the hospital. They did a whole bunch of medication errors. I work with them as nurses. They were not nurses. I worked with them. Multiple killings. Okay, rituals done in the hospital where I worked. Killing of patients. I didn't know it at the time. I couldn't prove it. I didn't know it at the time. Nurses, clearly not nurses. You can listen to a report and know that these are not registered nurses. Okay. So this is what it is. They take all your goodness from you. They take your organs. Just like when you see the movie Get Out. Get Out, and You see all of the movie Get Out, and it takes your organs, the harvesting of your organs. When you look at the 144, let me go over to 144. Understand that there is a Satan army, a satanic army, in which Satan wants y'all, the good ones. He wants the good to be bad and the bad to be good. He's trying to change your identity. He's trying to change the innocent to wicked and the wicked to innocent. He flips everything upside down. So if I end up, y'all see me getting cray-cray, if you see me going cray-cray, know that you heard it first from here. I mean, that's a disclaimer right there. That's a freebie right there. Because I know something is about to happen. And that's fine. Because, you know, where I go from here is I know I'm going somewhere beautiful from here. And I will never see these people ever again. Don't want to. So here is the... when you hear about this, I think 144,000. Because y'all really need to understand. Okay, so here we go. And I'm reading from Revelation chapter 7. After these things, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, or the sea, or any tree. Then I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried out with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, saying, do not harm the earth or sea until the sealing. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. That's not the one I want to read. Okay, here we go. 144. Okay, the Lamb and the 144,000. Then I looked, and behold, a Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written on their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, like the voice of many waters, and like the voice of loud thunder. And I heard the sound of harpists playing their harps. They sang as if it were a new song before the throne, before the 4 living creatures and the elders. They sang as if it were a new song before the 4 living creatures and the elders. And no one can learn that song except for the 144,000 who were redeemed from the earth. They were redeemed from the earth. Where the hell are they going? They're redeemed from the earth. These are the ones these were redeemed from among men. Being first fruits to God and the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no deceit, for they were without fault before the throne of God. Okay. So this is him taking innocent. This is the God of Mars taking the innocent. He's taking the innocent for his pleasure. Okay, then you can go to 5. I think I remember. Okay. I'm going to tell you something about Judah. Judah is being used as a weapon. Judah is being used as a weapon to attack the church. They're the lions. They're the roaring lions. They're also found in the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel has been removed from the 144,000, but I think that Daniel goes to a different place. I think they're truly, but Judah stole the identities of the Levites. If you really want to know the truth, they are acting as priests. They are acting as the priests. They are defiled in blood. Their hands are bloody, and they have been deceived by who? Their masters. They've been deceived by their masters. They followed the wrong counsel, and their identity, their names are being changed. You know, they've taken Toby. They no longer Kuta. They Toby. So, and they believe in their hearts and their minds that their masters have been kind to them because their masters give them what they want. But it's all for an agenda. Of course, I'm gonna give you what you want because you gonna be killing your people. You about to kill your people. You ain't gonna feel it till after the end. You killing off your people. You doing me a huge favor. You're killing off your. This is like Hitler. This is all of this again is basically the Holocaust. The true Hebrews. Okay, I understand that I'm one of them. I am. I know that for a fact. I wouldn't get so much backlash if I wasn't. I am one of them. Okay, and this is why they attack you like that. Um, and this is why they try to steal your identity to walk in your goodness. So I don't care if you fast. I've done all of that, and guess what? They take it. I don't know how they're doing this. It's like I don't benefit anymore. It's like I benefit from nothing I do. Nothing I do is as if they're benefiting, as if they benefit from anything good that you do. So at this point, it's the matter of just believing in yourself right now. I'm just at the point where I understand now. He said in these last days it will be, it'll be a time like unlike before, and this is unlike anything before. Nobody can describe what's happening right now because this is unlike anything that has existed before. So I say to those people who are doing this, oh, assalamu alaikum, and all these black people that are coming out and recreating all these names of Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh, all these little names. Everybody got a different name that come on YouTube and they give all these little names and all these things. You're deceived. I don't even, a lot of this stuff I don't even pay attention to. Bobby, bye word. I don't even pay attention to you. It's a lot of stuff is very ignorant and very dead. And then speaking of dead, there's a scripture in here that says that I will annul your covenant with death because y'all signed the oath. Y'all signed the bloody oath. Y'all signed the oath. Y'all signed the oath of blood. Okay, y'all signed the oath of blood, and y'all locked into it, and it changed your DNA. That oath of blood has changed and corrupted your DNA, and the person you were before I woke up like this is who you are today, and because you took the oath, and the oath changed your character. The oath has changed your character. It has changed your walk. It has changed your faithfulness. So a lot of times I don't even pay your comments no attention because I already understand. Sometimes I can look at the name, whatever you call your name. I can know what your name is. If I see your name is drop it like it's hot or something like that, I'm not taking you seriously. I may look at your comment, but I'm not really taking you seriously because of your name or Savage, Savage Red, and I'm not really paying you attention. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, because it's all about your name. And you had a choice to create your name. Like sometimes we're born into names that we have no choice. Like Daquita Carter. I wouldn't name myself Daquita Carter. I'm just saying. I wouldn't name myself Daquita. I wouldn't name myself Daquita. I'm just going to start it out there. But I had no choice. But you have a choice as to what screen name you name yourself. So if you chose to name yourself Savage Beast, and I'm gonna go past Savage Beast because why? I'm not gonna take you seriously. So you have to be presentable. You have to want people to take you seriously. If you're really trying to leave a serious comment, present yourself in a serious manner. Okay, so I'm that kind of person. I don't play these games. Right now, I'm just like forced into something. I feel like I'm being forced into doing something I don't want to do. And it comes to this false love that I talked about. This love is false. It's perverted. Oh, we love this and we love and we're so free and we're naked and we're just loving each other and it's like one for all, like y'all all just laying in the bed together, and it's just like it's just not for me. It's not for me, and I'm not knocking it. If that's what you into, that's fine for you, but for me, don't try to influence your lifestyle on me. That's all I'm saying. Don't try to influence your lifestyle on me. I am who I am. I don't try to influence your lifestyle. I don't come on here bashing the gays or I don't do that. I don't get into their politics because I don't know how they feel. It's not my business. I don't know how they feel. I don't know if they were born that way or not. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no way of knowing that. However, I don't try to influence you to be straight. Don't try to influence me to be gay. Don't try to influence me to go in this direction when I'm not influencing you. It's like mind your business. It's one of those things where you have to mind your business. But since you're in mine, I have to expose the things that I need to expose in order to let others be aware because my love and my passion is for those who died. When I see people dying like Trayvon Martin, when I see those people just dying in the street, no justice, the judge that was found in the Hudson River, when I hear things about that and people that are risking their lives for truth, risking their lives to tell us about these chemtrails that they told us about 20 and 30 years ago. My faith is for them people. My love, my passion is for them. They are the saviors. If you want to know who the real saviors are, it's them. It's the people that died. It's the Sharon Blands, the Aaron Alexis's. It's them. It's Myra Mays. Those people are admirable. Those people are commendable. They revealed the truth, and they took the lashes. They didn't change their name. They went out and they did it. They're not snitches. They're not snitches. They're heroes. They're commendable. They're honorable. They are to be praised. Those are the ones I praise. All this other garbage, all these sellouts that sit at the table with you and smile and laugh and take these oaths, and they're laughing with you, and they don't want to go through nothing. And you're going to go through something. Let me tell you, you're going to go through something. You took that oath and you think you're getting away with something, but you're not. There is a God. There is a God that's going to show up and light you on fire. There is a God that's going to light you on fire. You are definitely going to, it's going to definitely be your turn. You definitely going to get a turn. So it's just one of those things where y'all would say are the astral realm. It's the devil's playground. It's not real. It's full of beasts. It's full of Judas and these illusions and these roaring lions. These video games, Hunger Games. Watch Hunger Games. Watch Divergent. Watch Clone Wars, Star Wars. All this stuff that they're doing. These simulations and these false realities. People having a different time determining what's real, what's not real, and you go into these realms that don't exist, and all this magic, and you think Jesus is there. They're lies. They're not real. It's not real. It's an illusion. A lot of these things are CIA induced, CIA simulations in war games in order to trap you in a snare and to kill you in a ritual and to drink your blood. Whoever has a thirst for blood. And that's all it is. It's just a way to trap you into a system that gets you trapped in there through sex and through any other mechanism in which they use these honey traps, these whorish women. Amber Rose, one of them. It used one. I'm sorry, anybody that wears tattoos of the upside down cross and all of this stuff on your body and stuff, it just sends a message, and you walk around, you women, you really need to get it together. You really need to get it together and decide and determine, because you are witches. You do hold power, but how you use your power speaks a lot about who you are and how powerful you can become, because that power, not all power is good power. Okay? Not all power leads to the path of righteousness. Okay? There's people that are under high power and they are demonically oppressed. They've taken an oath. They've been given great power. They have great power. But do you want that power? Because that power is demonic. That power can do no good. That power is to do evil. So I look at it as they have received power to do evil. They have power, but it's power for payback. It's power for revenge. It's power for bloodshed. It's power for terror. That's the kind of power they have. It's not power for good. So I prefer to have power that is beneficial for people that's suffering right now. I want to have power for people to get them out of prisons and to move them into abundance, real abundance. Get out of all of these simulations. Isaiah chapter 55 is a simulation. Isaiah chapter 55, the land of milk and honey, come free. It's free. That's astral projection. That's telling you you basically enter in a realm of astral projection. Okay. Isaiah 54, perpetual peace. Perpetual. Do you know what the word perpetual means? Do you know what the word perpetual means? Can you not read that the entire scripture and get a sense that it's sarcasm in there, that there's a level of sarcasm in there, and really pick up the language and feel it from the spirit that they ain't the type of peace that you're looking for. That's true. They will surround you round about, but they ain't come from me. So you want a different type of peace. Okay, you can read you can read Isaiah 54 and think that you are in peace, but it's a simulated. It's a simulation. 54 and 55. Read it, and ask for the truth when you read it. And that's why for a while now, I'm gonna tell you, the Bible has made me depressed. I'm gonna tell you, reading the Bible lately has really made me depressed because it's the truth that's coming out. And when you read it, you have to understand that there was a different leader in charge. There was a different leader that wrote that Bible, and now things have changed, and blame is shifted, where they try to blame you for things that you're not, and they want to assume your identity. Why? Because you got it going on. Why? Why they after the Charmaines and the Natalies and the Dewans and why are they after y'all and the Betas? Why are they after you? Because you're beautiful. Because you have a beautiful spirit. That's why. Because you're beautiful in heart. You're beautiful in spirit. People can see the beauty in you, and they want to become you because you're fabulous. That's why. And they see it, and they're jealous of it. And when you hear that word, I am a jealous God, that's not God. That's not God. That's something else. They're gods, but they're the fallen gods. They're the fallen gods. And there's a scripture that says, yeah, you are gods, but you shall die like men. You are gods, but you shall die like men. Okay, so there's no, they don't get any type of freebie or anything. Okay. So just remember always who the real enemy is whenever you do something, and that's something to ponder. When you see something, because like I said, in all my research now, in retrospect, as I look back at everything that's going on right now, and I at least look at white people, and I say, wow, they so, before I didn't think they were racist, but then I start working and getting it out, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they ain't racist. Some of them are racist, and some of them are not. But the way they behave is the same way some other people are behaving. Like my mother right now, she behaves like them. And I'm seeing certain black people are behaving like them. They give you the opposite of what you want. It's like, and then I'm like looking like, and then you hear about the archons and everything. And I'm just like, who's really the real enemy? Where the white people invaded, with these spirits, with these demonic, because when you look at it, historically, they ran the government, and if they infiltrated the government, they infiltrated the white people, right? You would say that. So you have to say, what is the spirit behind the white people acting racism and acting hateful? And then you have to wonder, what is the spirit behind the black people right now? Because the black people are acting just as hateful. And you have to understand that maybe it's not us. Maybe it's not humanity. Maybe it's not the human race. Maybe we were just invaded and taken over. You have to look at it like that. Now you have to think outside of the box because something is clearly wrong. White people have been racist to us, but perhaps they were influenced. Perhaps they were influenced and we were punished. Remember, they said we were punished because of our sins and everything. Perhaps they were influenced by the archons. And these same archons are now influencing us to retaliate against them when you understand what I'm getting at. So like I said, please leave your comments. Really pay attention to that house and what I just said, where people aren't investing on you, on your land, selling your goods, breaking into your house. They got the key to your house. The plan, urban. I read that land description, the covenants and everything. True, that's real knowledge, that's real information. So I hope that this information blessed you today, and thank you so much. Sorry it's been so long, and I've been really battling with the Bible. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's been one of those things where it's become more like the spirit. What is the spirit behind the Bible? Although I believe that some of it, a lot of it, I don't think that God, the real God, talks a lot. I don't think he talks too much. And I don't think a lot of his stuff is revealed in there because, again, it is, a lot of it is of this world, and a lot of it is of the spirits that have fallen away. They have fallen away and have turned to their own devices. And perhaps I may be one of them. Perhaps I may be one of those who have gone my own direction. It's because I think everybody is searching for something that is so hard to ascertain right now. We're all in this dark place trying to search for our identities. And I just don't feel like you should have to search that much. I'm just a person that feels like when you ask and you ask diligently, if you ask consistently, this is something that should be given to you and handed to you. It's not something that I have to suck toes for and do all of these extra things for in order to get my truth. And I'm just very disappointed in all of it. So leave your comments and let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching. Shalom.